But who exactly is going to be using this printer when nobody can actually buy it? Because you can't. You can't. You can't. You can't.
Your shipment has been delivered.
Why did I buy this? So we all start somewhere, right? I know I did. In fact, this is my first build that I made. And at the time, I was super proud of it. I thought it was cool. It had a removable roof, which, why? I don't know. But it did. And I was very happy with this. This was my first foam build. It was made out of foam core. So for a while now, I've been trying to decide if I want to just remake this, throw it away, what. But I decided to reimagine this. I'm gonna take the basis of a 4x4 building and just make it better with the skills that I've learned over trial and error. And yeah, let's do this. So to start out, I used some 1/2" XPS foam. And seeing as my original build was 4 inches by 4 inches, I know what measurements to make. And so here I am just marking them out on the foam. And I want to get everything just about as straight as possible, so I'm using a ruler. Sorry, Colin.
I would shun it. I would shun the ruler.
And now I'm just kind of figuring out where I'm going to place the roof. How high is the pitch going to be? Is it going to be your standard pitch? Is it going to be more of a fanciful roof? Fanciful? Fantasy? Fan? I don't know, that doesn't sound right. So I'm going with a sloped roof. So to get that fanciful sloped look, we're going to use a guide. So here I use a paint palette, but that's a little too sloped for my liking. So we're just gonna use that as a reference and we're gonna create our own when we cut it. So now that we've got it all cut out from the Proxxon, we're gonna figure out the spacing of the doors. And for this one, I'm gonna add a window to it, or I'm gonna add a couple windows. Oh, and if you're interested, this door and window will be included in a set of medieval doors and windows on my Etsy account. And the link for that is on my YouTube page. So now that that looks good, we're gonna go in and cut those out with an X-Acto blade. Being very careful not to have ugly edges, but if we do, it's fine, it'll be covered up. And after those are cut out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the lines. And by lines, I mean the guidelines for the stones, which this building is gonna be covered in stone, so I've decided it's gonna look like field stone. I know the building originally was in the Tudor style, so it had timbers and plaster. Well, my reimagined version is just gonna be a fieldstone house with some timber accents. You know, change it up a little bit. And to get those, we're just gonna draw them on with a pen. Then, because I'm a glutton for punishment, I decided I'm going to carve them out individually. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. Yep. Literally just taking the X-Acto blade, scoring it, and just popping them out. But I think the end effect really works well, and you get those well-defined stones and irregular shapes. And I also decided that this building is going to have a chimney, because how else are these people going to keep warm? And for that, I just drew out a quick chimney shape and did the same thing. Drew on the stones and started picking them out. And for the timber accents, it was really easy. I just cut some thin strips and applied the wood grain with a wire brush. So now that we have everything textured out and detailed, we're going to assemble. We're doing that with hot glue because I'm impatient and it works really well. And once the building is put together, we're going to apply those timber strips with more hot glue. And originally I covered the roof of my building with cardboard shingles, and I have since moved on from that. But I don't have the patience to cut out all these foam shingles, so I decided to go with a fantasy-inspired, fantasy, whatever. We're doing a wood roof. Yep, that's probably about as successful as it sounds. It's gonna rot, but it's fine, it's fantasy. Let's do it. And after the Mod Podge phase, we're going to start painting. And as always, I have the intention of doing individual colors. And while I did do that, and it did affect the end result, the gray dry brushes and whites that I dry brushed on kind of covered it up, but it's fine. I like the end look. Next, we're gonna move on to the wood accents, and I'm basing that in black. And once I cover all the wood in black, I'm gonna go over it with brown dry brush. And to mask off the stones, I'm holding some paper towels up to the beams and just dry brushing over that. Now we're gonna paint my 3D prints, and when those are done, we're going to add some UV resin to the windows. And once that is hardened, we're ready. So are you ready? Here's the reveal. How does it compare to the old build? Well, here they are side by side. Now, this roof does not come off. It is not playable on the inside, but really neither was this one. So here it is. I like how it turned out. I hope you did too. If you like it, hit that like button. If you didn't, dislike it, unlike it, I don't care. Let me know what you don't like about it, what you would do differently, and let me know what your first build was. And have you remade your first build? Let me know. Anyways, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.